Born into one of the most iconic fashion dynasties, Allegra inherited not only a staggering fortune, but also the heavy burden of a family legacy marred by loss and public scrutiny. Her life, despite the glamour surrounding her, has been anything but easy. As we dive into Allegra Versace's world, we're going to look beyond the dollar signs and designer labels to understand the very real struggles she's faced. Struggles that are relatable on some level, even if we don't share her financial reality. Glamour built on family ties. Before we can really understand Allegra's story, we have to go back to where it all began, the foundation of the Versace Empire. It all started with her uncle, Gianni Versace, the creative genius who transformed the fashion industry in the late 20th century. Born in 1946 in Reggio Calabria, Italy, Gianni was introduced to fashion through his mother, a dressmaker. It was this early exposure that ignited his passion for design. His work was nothing short of revolutionary, bold, daring, and unapologetically glamorous. He was known for dressing celebrities like Madonna and Princess Diana, elevating his brand into an international powerhouse of luxury and excess. But it wasn't just Gianni who made the Versace name iconic. His sister Donatella, Allegra's mother, played a crucial role too. She wasn't just the well-dressed little sister, she was Gianni's muse, and later became one of his most trusted collaborators. Together, they created a brand that represented opulence, power, and high fashion like no other. Then, in 1997, tragedy struck when Gianni was murdered outside his Miami home, Casa Casuarina. His death sent shockwaves not only through the fashion industry, but also within the Versace family. It wasn't just a loss of a creative force. It was the fracturing of a family built on a shared vision, Allegra's unwanted inheritance. Allegra Versace was only 11 years old when her uncle was killed. At an age when most kids are concerned about school and friends, Allegra was thrust into a global spotlight she never asked for. To make matters more complex, Gianni had left her half of his empire in his will. Overnight, Allegra became heir to a fortune that would eventually swell to an eye-watering $800 million. But here's where Allegra's story begins to diverge from the narrative you might expect of someone with such immense wealth. You'd think that kind of money would bring nothing but freedom and opportunity, right? But for Allegra, the inheritance was more of a burden than a blessing. Can you imagine being 18 years old and suddenly responsible for a global fashion brand, knowing that the world is watching your every move? Retreating from the limelight. While her mother, Donatella, embraced the public eye with her bold style and commanding presence, Allegra took a different path. She was never one to seek attention. Instead of following in her mother's footsteps and diving into the glitzy world of fashion, Allegra chose a life far away from the catwalks and paparazzi. She preferred a quieter existence, focused on her education and personal development. Allegra pursued studies in art history and French at Brown University, and later at UCLA. It's clear that her interests lay outside the fashion empire she was expected to one day help lead. While Donatella thrived on the glamour and chaos of the fashion world, Allegra was grappling with the overwhelming expectations placed on her because of her family name. Personal struggles and public scrutiny. The pressure of living up to the Versace legacy took a toll on Allegra's mental health. By the mid-2000s, her battle with anorexia became public knowledge, turning her private pain into a media spectacle. The world watched as photos of her frail figure circulated in tabloids, sparking concern and criticism in equal measure. Can you imagine what that must have been like? To have the world speculating about your health, your choices, your very existence, all because of your last name? It's a level of scrutiny most of us will never experience, but the toll it took on Allegra is something many people can relate to. Whether it's family expectations or societal pressure, the weight of being who the world expects you to be can be suffocating. Donatella's own struggles. Meanwhile, Donatella was fighting her own battles. After Gianni's death, she took on the overwhelming responsibility of leading the Versace brand. But with that responsibility came immense pressure. By her early 30s, Donatella had developed an addiction to cocaine, which only worsened as she tried to fill her brother's shoes. In 2004, Following an intervention by her friend Elton John, Donatella entered rehab. Her decision to seek help was not just a turning point for her personal life, but also for the Versace brand. Her recovery helped stabilize the company, which was facing financial difficulties at the time. Donatella's professional resilience, managing to lead Versace through its darkest days while overcoming her personal demons, is a testament to her strength. Allegra's role in the Versace Empire. Despite her reluctance to fully embrace the fashion world, Allegra eventually took on more responsibilities within the Versace brand. At the age of 24, she joined the board of directors, and in 2011, she began playing a more active role in shaping the company's future. By this point, the Versace family was preparing for a new phase of growth, which would eventually lead to significant business deals that ensured the brand's global expansion. In 2014, the family sold a 20% stake in the company to Blackstone Group, valuing Versace at around $1.4 billion. This deal was a strategic move to fuel expansion, open flagship stores in key fashion capitals, and regain control of licensed products. The infusion of capital allowed Versace to strengthen its position as a luxury brand while retaining family control. Then, in 2018, Michael Kors Holdings, later rebranded as Capri Holdings, acquired Versace for approximately $2.2 billion. This marked a turning point for the company, offering it the resources to scale new heights under a larger conglomerate. Despite selling a majority stake, Allegra and Donatella remained influential, holding on to a significant portion of the company and maintaining a role in its creative and strategic decisions. Allegra Versace's life is one of paradoxes. Immense wealth coupled with deep personal struggle, global fame paired with a desire for anonymity. It's a story that reminds us that money doesn't solve everything, and sometimes the greatest battles are the ones we fight within ourselves. What do you think of Allegra Versace's journey? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like this video if you found it insightful and subscribe to Wealthosophy for more deep dives into wealth and luxury.